What up, team? Here you are, live with Big Boys Boxing once again. I'm Johnny, your host, and as per usual, give me a few seconds here, get a few things sorted. Sounds be on. Get some links sent out to the regulars. And we can get the show on the road. So, not a lot going on with the heavyweight division at the moment, besides a bit of drama. Mike Coppinger reported a couple of days ago that Andy Ruiz is not likely to sign the deal for the Andy Ruiz versus Anthony Joshua rematch that pretty much is controlled by Eddie Hearn. And they have said that the rematch is going to be on December 7th. I think it was December 7th in Saudi Arabia. Neutral territory, as Eddie Hearn puts it. Now, many people are up in arms about this venue. People say there shouldn't be an event like this in Saudi Arabia. It's a money grab. Some are saying it's a cash out. Personally, I couldn't give a flying beep where it is. It's a 20-foot squared circle, wherever it is in the world. And for Andy Ruiz, I don't think he can beat Anthony Joshua on points. So he's got to knock him out to beat him anyway. But Saudi Arabia has its issues, right? A lot of human rights stuff going on there. A lot of discrimination against women going on there. But for me, this has got nothing to do with boxing. And all these people who are up in arms about the fight being in Saudi Arabia. It wasn't long ago, Amir Khan fought Billy Dib in Saudi Arabia. Where was all this enthusiasm for not having things in Saudi Arabia when that happened? I just don't understand. Got Marla2243 in the chat. How are you, brother? I'll drop a link in the chat for everybody as well, if anybody wants to jump on. Also, like I said, regulars, you already have an invite. Anybody else, if that link doesn't work for you and you still want to jump on, you can send me a message in hangouts and we'll get you on one way or another. The email for the hangouts message to be able to find me is in the description below, which is kiwiboxjono@gmail.com. Alright, so that's that. But yeah, not a lot going on with the heavyweights at present. We've got a few fights made for down the track, like Huey Fury and Alexander Povetkin. We've got Michael Hunter and Sergey Kuzmin. A couple of really good fights there. They're down the track a bit, so just got to have a little bit of patience. We have the possibility too of Joseph Parker and Derek Chisora. It looks like that fight's going to get made for October, and that's going to be the main event. Looking like it's going to be at the O2 Arena in London. So yeah, once again, it is what it is. I'll be looking forward to it. Hopefully it's going to get made soon so we can stop speculating. We're kind of running out of time, but I'm betting there's a lot of squabbling about how much money there's going to be in it for that fight. So we'll see what happens there. But yeah, it is what it is. Interesting. Can't capture my hangout today. I've got the audio and everything sorted for it anyway, but I'll just double check it and see if I can sort it out while we're not too busy here. Give me a sec.
Hey, Jono.
Hey Marla, how you going, brother?
Good, man.
Good to have you on.
Sweet.
What's your take on the situation with Andy Ruiz and not signing to fight in Saudi Arabia? Got an opinion on that one?
Yeah, it's a bit, disappointing. I want the fight to happen. It'd be tragic if it doesn't happen before the end of the year. I'm sort of getting excited about it. But I'm not fussed about the human rights side of having the fight in Saudi Arabia. I hear people saying that, but I mean, the way I look at it, we do business with China all the time.
Yeah.
You look what China gets up to in the world, mate. You know what I mean? They're a dictatorship. They're ruthless as hell, and so I'm not fussed about that side of it. And I understand, like, some of the AJ fans are down on Ruiz at the moment. They're saying he used to be a humble guy, and now he's just being a greedy little prick, and he's got it, all this. He's showing his true colours. But I can sort of understand with Ruiz. He signed the contract, apparently, from what it sounds like, knowing he'd get $9 million for the rematch. But to be fair to Ruiz, he was a beggar when he signed that contract. He had no leverage. He really had to agree to what was put in front of him, or he wouldn't have got the fight. And now he's looking at it, and I heard the purse $70 million for the fight in Saudi. And that would mean, I worked it out, if Ruiz is getting $9 million, that's like 12.8% of the pot. And for a champion with three titles, who you beat this guy's ass and took his belts off him, in the rematch you're getting $9 million, 12.8% of $70 million. That's lousy.
Yeah.
So I can understand he's looking at this pot thinking, man, I want a bit more of it. I can understand it, but the jam for him is he signed the contract.
Damn right. He doesn't have a leg to stand on until he gets that second win, does he?
Yeah, that's the thing. And what he risks, the thing is, maybe, you never know, Eddie might say to him, Eddie Hearn might take him aside and say, look, mate, I'll give you 15 or something. Just let's get this going. I'll give you 15 mil. And if he did that, Ruiz should take it, because the only other alternative is they go to court and Ruiz ends up losing heaps of money in lawyers' fees, and he can end up being stripped of his titles or being ordered to fight for the $9 million.
Yeah.
So hopefully, you never know. I can understand Ruiz's position when he's looking at the pot saying, geez, man, I'm getting $9 million out of 70. That's lousy. I get that. So, hopefully Eddie might throw him a little sweetener.
I'm kind of wondering what's actually in the contract. Is it a flat fee that he's got, or is it a percentage?
Because that's what it sounds like. The way people are talking, this $9 million, it sounds like a flat fee.
Yeah, that's interesting. I'm not sure he would have signed a contract to fight in the first place if it was a flat fee. Because what's 9 mil as a percentage? It's less than 10%. It's just over 10%, isn't it? So
yeah, I worked it out. So 9 million. Hang on, 9 million. And you just divide it by 70 million, and you get 12.8%. So if the fight purse is 70 mil, it's 12.8%, man.
That's pretty low.
It's pretty bad for when you got 3 of the belts and you beat the guy's ass. So I can, if those numbers are correct, I can, if the purse is for 70 and Ruiz is getting 9, I can understand that he's looking at the pot of gold thinking, Jesus, man, I'm not getting very much here.
Yeah.
Normally a champion with 3 titles who kicked the guy's ass and you have a rematch, you wouldn't get less than 50%.
Yeah.
So, but he's signed the contract, and he may have to just grit his teeth, go in there and get that second win. Once he gets that second win, he's in charge.
Definitely. If he doesn't sign the contract, there could be some huge consequences.
I know, yeah.
It could be a long, drawn-out legal process, and he might not be able to fight it. You know, he could be legally bound to not be able to fight until he fights that rematch.
Yeah, he'll be in limbo. He'll just be hanging there, man. And the lawyer's fees are going to suck him dry.
Yeah.
You never allow yourself, no matter how much pride is at stake, to let it become a lawyer issue. You always sit down with the other person, swallow your pride, and work it out. Because if you don't, if you let it become a lawyer issue, the only people who end up with any money is the lawyers, man.
Exactly.
You know, so I pray they can come to some sort of agreement and, yeah.
Sort their shit out.
Yeah, man.
My money's on he's going to sign, but he's trying to
get a sweetener, eh?
Trying to get a sweetener, and you know, can't blame the guy for trying. But
yeah.
To a degree, I wonder how much Al Heyman's in his ear at the moment.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, definitely, eh?
But it was December 7th, wasn't it? Because that's off the top of my head.
Raphael Dawkins said he signed the contract.
Oh, he signed it? Yeah. I pretty much thought he would, eh? Yeah. And he was just trying to push for a little more, a bit better deal, and
yeah.
You know, it's not that bigger issue. So that's good. He signed it, and it's going to happen.
Sweet.
Yes. So, do you think Joshua is going to do any better second time around?
Yeah. That's, man. I'm so torn on it. Like, he looks like. Did you see those photos of him? There were some photos up of him, apparently. I saw a glimpse of him, and it looks like he's slimmed a little, trimmed down a bit. But he's lost about 4 pounds so far. So it's going to be very interesting what weight he comes in at. If he comes in like, 238, 240, if he gets his body in good order and he's learnt the tactical lessons from the first fight, his jab, I really believe his jab, I was expecting big things from his jab in the first fight.
It was kind of getting poured out there in the first fight a lot, wasn't it? He wasn't stepping into it.
I was expecting big things from it, and I still feel like if AJ, his jab is going to decide, if his jab is effective in this rematch, he can, and keep Ruiz out on the outside, he can win the fight. He could make life terrible for Ruiz, and that's what I was expecting the first time round. But if Ruiz can still get inside, I think it's going to end the same way.
Yeah. Raphael's just clarified in the chat he was talking about the original contract.
Oh.
So he hasn't signed the new one yet.
No. Oh, yeah.
But yeah, like I say, I'm pretty sure he's gonna sign it. He may be looking for a bit more out of it as all, and maybe putting a bit of time pressure on Hearn to force a little something more out of it. So,
yeah.
But yeah, like we say, if he doesn't sign it, we're not going to be able to see him jump into the ring with Deontay Wilder for an undisputed fight. It's not that simple. I've seen a few guys around YouTube talking about, it can't be in the contract that Joshua has all the say on the rematch because he hasn't signed it. I mean, he doesn't have to sign it straight away. So I'm pretty confident that it was an ironclad contract. You don't make bullshit contracts in boxing these days.
Yeah, Eddie Hearn's a smart operator too. He's ruthless.
Yeah. So it's not going to be public knowledge probably ever what's actually in that original contract. But if Joshua has the final say on the location, it's done and dusted. There's no arguing. If Joshua says it's in Saudi Arabia, it's in Saudi Arabia. If you don't want to sign the contract, see you in court.
Yeah, and he'll lose.
He will.
Ruiz will lose, man.
He will. I'm pretty sure there was probably a percentage in the contract as well. Like you worked out, was it 12.5%? Seems fairly low to me, but
I've just got to jump off for a sec, Jono.
No worries, mate.
I'll be back about 5 minutes. Hang on a sec.
All goods. But yeah, my money's on. Give it a couple of weeks, and we'll see the contract sign, and the fight will be happening. Well, I hope to God that's what's going to happen anyway, because I don't want to see a long, drawn-out court case, Andy Ruiz not being able to fulfill his mandatory obligations and have all the belts taken off him. That would suck. We'll be starting again on the road to undisputed. And we're so close to having the first full belt champion. So let's get this rematch sorted and get it made. I want to see it. And like I said earlier in the stream, personally, I couldn't give a shit where the rematch is. I guess that's because I don't have a horse in the race, being from New Zealand. But yeah, it's a 20-foot squared circle no matter where it is in the world. And like I said, I think Ruiz has to knock Joshua out to win that fight anyway. So, I haven't been reporting a lot on it on YouTube or anything because, for me, it's not really worth reporting on because it's a non-event at present. When the contract's signed or when Hearns decided that the time frame has passed for the contract to be signed and he's going to take it to court, then we have some news. But for now, we got nothing. We got just Andy Ruiz holding out to try and get some sort of sweetener out of Hearn, and that's all it is. So, yeah, it is what it is. I didn't watch a lot of boxing over the weekend, but I did watch Virgil Ortiz knock out Antonio, what's his name? Aronzo, I think it is. Virgil Ortiz looks like a pretty decent prospect, but he's got a lot to learn, man. He's gets hit pretty easily, but he comes forward. He's got a pretty good chin. He throws a lot of punches, puts on a lot of pressure. He's got to be up there as one of the most promising American prospects at present, but we'll see how he goes. Are you back again, Mala? No, still busy. Yeah. Alright, just looking through the chat. Here we go. Hawker Mustang, good to have you in. Hearn should go ahead and throw in a few extras. Yeah, it couldn't hurt. It couldn't hurt because I think this fight is going to do really well. There's a hell of a lot more interest in it than the first fight. So,
hi, Jono, back.
Sweet as. Yeah, I was just addressing a comment here. Hawker Mustang reckons Hearn should throw in a few sweeteners, and I was just talking about it'd probably be worth it to get the fight signed and sealed because the fight's going to do quite well. I think there's a hell of a lot more interest in it than the first fight even.
It's going to be enormous. I mean, even if they offer him 15 mil. Yeah. If they offered him 9 in the first place, offer him 15, man. You know, damn good money. After tax and expenses, he'll probably pocket 5 mil of that purse.
Yeah, well, apparently that's around about what he was asking for, according to Mike Coppinger, wasn't it? Something around 15 mil. So if the purse is 70 mil, Joshua really wants his belts back, and instead of dealing with all the stress, what's another 6 mil?
Oh, yeah, man. Yep.
Out of 70, it's not that big a deal, so makes sense.
It does. Hey, did you see the photos of him? It was on Counterpunch Boxing. He had a video, and he showed some photos of AJ around the first fight and now, and he did look a little slimmer. I think he lost about 4 pounds, but it's 4 pounds of muscle. But he's obviously looking to come in lighter.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting. The thing for AJ, it's that jab. Like, I was expecting big things from his jab the first time round. I looked at Parker with Ruiz, and his jab was very effective. So I thought, AJ's jab will be even more effective. And I was shocked when in the fight, when it just didn't, his jab just had no effect.
Yeah.
He just didn't use it, man. And so that punch is really going to have a huge bearing on the outcome. Like, Ruiz can't win on points, so I can't see that. Right. So if he gets forced to the outside, you expect AJ to take the fight because he won't just be able to control the range with his jab. He'll be able to control the tempo of the fight with it. he'll be able to keep Ruiz on the outside, and he could fight at a more measured pace. AJ, it'll help him.
Agreed.
Whereas if the jab doesn't work, not only is Ruiz going to be able to get inside on him and go to work on him, but he's going to be able to up the tempo of the fight. He's going to be on top of AJ, just hammering him. It's going to be a more ferocious sort of tempo, which AJ won't necessarily like. So his jab is a big, whether his jab works or not, it's going to play a major role in the outcome, I think.
Yeah, well, he's apparently got George Foreman in camp helping him out somewhat. George had a pretty good jab, even though, it didn't look the best. But if that jab from George Foreman hit you, you know about it.
Yeah, it was like a power punch.
Yeah, it's a stiff jab, and you can't walk through it. So if AJ can step into his jab a bit more like that, it could possibly get a bit more of Ruiz's respect. But
yeah,
I'd be more worried about the counter punch, and I think maybe that's got something to do with why AJ's trying to get a bit lighter so he can move a bit better, a bit quicker, and for longer to be able to deal with the counter punch that's going to come from Andy Ruiz, and you can count on it. It's going to come from him, and it's going to be quick.
Yeah, AJ wants to fight from the outside, and that's going to take stamina. He's going to fight from the outside, jabbing, punching, moving, and he wants to be mobile. He doesn't want to get in there and get into those engagements. So you need stamina to do that,
Definitely.
To do that outside fight. So, yeah. As for Ruiz's weight, someone asked the question, is Andy going to lose 4 pounds? I hope Andy doesn't come in less than 250.
Yeah, I don't think he wants to do anything too drastic either.
No.
He's been fighting at a heavier weight for his size for his whole life.
And it helped him,
Yeah. I mean, look at how he came in a bit lighter against Parker, didn't he? I think it was like...
Yeah, he did. He was under 250, I think, for that.
Yeah. And when he posed with his arms up, like clenching his bicep muscles, it looked like there was a big hole in his guts. It did look healthy for him.
Yeah. He's a naturally tubby guy, so yeah, I wouldn't want him coming in under 250. I think the weight, I think it really helped him in the fight. He was so big, helped him take the punch. He's got a good chin anyway, but I think it would have helped his punch resistance, and it also put more behind his punch because his fist was going as fast at 268 as it was at 248, but he had more behind it.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't change too much if I was him. And
yeah, well, it's not like he's a fleet-footed boxer and needs to, the only stamina he needs is pretty much to be able to slip and throw punches. He doesn't need to be running around the ring all night. So
no, he's just going to be all he needs. He'll basically be walking after AJ. He'll be walking after him, just looking to cut the ring off, back him into a corner, and give it to him, basically.
Yeah, but I'm really interested in it. I'm still gonna put some money on Ruiz for the fight.
Same.
I haven't looked at the odds. They won't be as good as last time, guaranteed. But I think Ruiz is probably going to pull it off again. I think it's possibly going to be a little bit later this time.
Yeah, well, I'm feeling the same way because the problem I keep thinking about it, and that I can't see AJ, no matter what technical adjustments he makes, I can't see him being able to keep Ruiz off him the whole fight. At some point, Ruiz is going to get inside and land on him. And I don't want to, like some people, AJ, so I won't call it, say his chin. Some of the English fans will say, oh, but he didn't get hit on the chin, he got hit behind the ear. AJ's punch resistance.
That's the one.
Is not great. I'd give him a 5 out of 10. He's not glass-jawed, but he hasn't got exceptional punch resistance. And if Ruiz is going to hit him at some point, he's going to take the same power from Ruiz that he took in the first fight. It's going to happen. I can see it happening, and I really feel like the result will be the same. I think AJ will go down.
Yep. And
Ruiz won't let him off the hook. He'll jump on him again. So, I think it will be a harder fight for Ruiz. He'll have to struggle a lot more to win it, but I'm still going to put money on him to win as well. Yeah.
Yep, definitely. I think the speed is the key. I think that's something that AJ just can't deal with. He's nowhere near as quick as Ruiz, but it's also a combination of the animal in Ruiz. He's so relentless,
Yeah.
you know.
Yep.
It's something that Parker doesn't quite have in their fight. He was very tentative and he wasn't real aggressive with that speed because Parker's got that speed as well. But
Yep.
Ruiz has that speed and the animal, and he's going to keep coming. He's also pretty smart with slipping punches and
He is, and I mean, and the thing is, he throws in bunches.
he does.
He doesn't just throw one, man. It's not just. And some people were saying, the English fans were saying, "Oh, Ruiz doesn't hit that hard." I've seen AJ take punches from harder hitting guys. It's like, yeah, but with Ruiz, man, it's not. There is power there. Parker said he hits hard, but it's the speed and the volume.
The volume,
It just
if the say a mediocre power punch, if it just middle of the road, it's a power punch, but it's middle of the road.
Yeah.
But if you're getting 7 or 8 of them in one combination added together, it doesn't matter who you are, it's gonna hurt.
It's gonna grind you down.
Yeah, man.
It's gonna grind you down, man. So yeah, I think a lot of the English fans, I go on the on a lot of the channels, they Ruiz is going to be destroyed in the first round, or he's going to get destroyed in the first 3 or 4 rounds. The real AJ is going to show up, and they have no respect for Ruiz whatsoever. None of them have even got themselves to a point where they can admit that Ruiz actually brings some good things to the ring. It amazes me. It's just like, and then they go, "Oh, he's going to blast Ruiz out quick this time." I said to this guy, I said, "Well, he tried to blast him out quick last time, and look what happened."
I can't understand how people come to that opinion besides straight out fanboyism. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Like I've talked to guys about it, and I said to them, went through a list, and I've said this before: Ruiz, superior hand speed, superior chin, superior counterpuncher, superior stamina, more experience. You've got to respect that.
You do.
And they don't respect it. It amazes me. I just, God,
It's
it's
nuts.
just amazing.
It's nuts.
It's nuts, man.
I've just pulled up some odds for Andy Ruiz and Anthony Joshua, or some methods of victory. So I'll have a quick look at what's going on here. Right now we've got Andy Ruiz by points is $13.
Yeah.
Which is 13-1 for those of you who don't understand the dollar amount. Andy Ruiz by KO still paying $4. Joshua by points is $4.30, so almost just over 4-1. And Anthony Joshua by knockout is $1.83. Wow. I would have thought a decision from Anthony Joshua would have been more likely than a knockout at this stage.
Oh, I'm surprised by those odds, man. Yeah, that's...
Because, I think Joshua is going to fight a lot more defensively this time around. He's going to be wary of what Andy Ruiz has to offer, and he's going to try and keep him at distance.
Oh, definitely. I'm looking for AJ. I think point. He's going to go for a point. He's not going to take risks. You know, well, he's not going if he's got any brains. I mean, he should have learned from the first fight.
I think, regardless of the result, there's going to be a lot of disappointed AJ fans because he's going to fight like he's going to stink the place out a bit.
He has to. He has to fight that Lennox Lewis, David Tour style. He has to. Yeah.
Just looking at some round betting here. Andy Ruiz by knockouts. First round $45, second round $31, third round $23, fourth round $23, and it looks like $23 most of the way down for the rest of the rounds. It is.
See, if I was Ruiz, if Ruiz gets a stoppage, I think it would probably happen around. It wouldn't happen before round 10 because he's going to be harder. You would think AJ is going to be harder to hunt down.
Yeah.
So it'll probably happen later. And I think if AJ, he may get a stoppage, but the way Ruiz took his punches, I mean, he hit Ruiz with that flush right uppercut, left hook, put him down. Ruiz got straight back up. He hit Ruiz immediately with another flush right hand, and nothing happened.
Yeah.
And right through the fight, remember the 7th round, he hit Ruiz with that flush left hook and the spray come off Ruiz's head. Ruiz didn't bat an eyelid. He just come straight back with a counter right, put AJ down, and started beating on him.
Yep.
His chin, it's like, so I'm really, I know a lot of the English fans are saying AJ's going to destroy him, but geez, man, I'm really, I think it's more likely if AJ's going to win, he's going to have to get that bit boring points decision and use that jab properly.
Yeah, well, that might be worth a bet too. I think I'm just looking at some group rounds as well. Andy Ruiz rounds 1 to 6 is paying $6. Rounds 7 to 12 is $7.
Good money.
So I'd probably put a bet on Andy Ruiz 7 to 12 at $7.
Yep.
And put a bet on
the TKO one at $4. TKO and KO one at $4 as well would be good.
Yeah, not too bad, but I'd probably put one on Anthony Joshua as well, just for the win by decision.
Yeah, oh yeah, definitely. I'm nervous. I'm nervous about this fight. You know, you can't count AJ out on this. I mean, he won a gold medal at the Olympics. He won all those titles as a professional. You got to have pride to do that. You got to have ability to do that. So yeah, he's going to train the house down. He's going to come out smoking. So, you know, I certainly would not count him out, not by a long shot.
Yeah. Just one more group rounds here. It's pick 4 rounds instead of 6 rounds. I'd go Ruiz 9 to 12 for a knockout at $12. That's not a bad bet either.
Yeah, geez, some good start. There's still some good money.
Yeah, man. But I'd still hedge it with Joshua by points.
See, I hedged it last time. I honestly thought AJ was going to win the other one, but I thankfully put some money on Ruiz as a side bet.
Oh, you did?
Oh, yeah.
Good man.
Yeah,
what were your odds?
$19.
Oh, shit hot.
For the KO TKO option.
$10 gets you 190.
That's what I put on. That's what I threw on.
Good man.
Yeah, so that was okay. I thought AJ was going to win the fight, but I knew I couldn't count Ruiz out completely. Yeah. So I had AJ for a points win. I had him for I think I did the points win. I think I did a late round stoppage win for him, and then I did put some money on Ruiz for the stoppage.
Yeah.
So that worked out okay. So yeah, hopefully it'll, we should be able to, with the bets, with the odds you've got here, you'll be able to hedge your bets quite well.
Yes. Yeah. So yeah, if you play your cards right, you can't lose.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
But no, interesting. I'm very interested in that fight when it rolls around. But it's got a way to go yet, and we're a bit quiet at the moment in the heavyweight division. Not a lot of competitive fights going on.
No, I mean, still talking about Parker Chisora, and that'll be a good fight. And it's a fight for Parker. He's going to have to be on his game, because he's not going to be able to take the middle rounds off, because Chisora's going to be on him from the first round to the last.
Yep.
He's going to be right on him, man.
Yeah, particularly if we get the best Derek Chisora in the ring. It only takes a blink and a distraction for 1 second, and he could end up like Carlos Takam. Oh,
he can crack. That's the one thing he can crack, and the way he goes to the body to set up the headshots.
Yeah.
Lethal, eh? Parker's going to have to be right on top of things. That'll be a good fight. And what about is the Deontay Wilder fight confirmed with Ortiz in September?
I don't think it is yet. Apparently, I've heard whispers that there could be some kind of injury to somebody that could be delaying it. But I'll just look it up quickly. Deontay Wilder box rec. What do we got here? Okay, it says he's fighting Luis Ortiz on the 11th of September. Does that sound right?
Yep. That was on Boxing Rec, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, I looked at that the other day, but there just hasn't been a lot of hype.
Nothing
about it.
Yeah, we haven't had an official announcement from any of the fighters, or from PBC or Fox or Showtime or anything yet, so
no,
I don't know. But yeah, hopefully that's when it's going to happen and get it done and dusted. Hurry up and knock Ortiz out within 6 rounds easy and
Yeah,
move on.
yeah, man.
Um,
Get that Fury fight happening.
yeah, with the Fury fight or Ruiz versus Wilder if he
Oh, I'd
beats,
love it.
if he beats Joshua again.
Yeah, I'd love that, man. What a fight, man.
But I'm also, I'd like to see Joshua versus Wilder as well. But
I would, yeah, stylistically, eh?
yeah, well, it's just over the last 3 years I've kind of given up hope of that fight ever getting made.
Yeah, we talked about that happening, the fear of it becoming the Riddick Bowe Lennox Lewis of this era.
Yeah.
Yeah, real shame.
But yeah, we got Tyson Fury fighting someone he shouldn't be fighting as well.
Oh, he's embarrassed. I mean, he's embarrassing himself. What he's doing, he signed that ESPN contract. I think he's going to take a whole lot of easy fights, cash up, and then finish it with the Wilder fight and retire.
Well, I guess we can't blame the guy for doing that. He would have made $120 million out of it by the time he fights Wilder. If he manages to beat Wilder, maybe he
Oh
will
yeah,
quit boxing.
man. Yeah. I can't blame him for it, but it's just it's that sort of shenanigans that sort of hurts the boxing.
Yeah, in the interim, he should be fighting somebody that's going to be a bit more competitive. I mean, these young guys with an O, we don't know too much about them. There is the element of unknown, and they could do something, but it's not freaking likely because they're not even tested at world level. So
Yeah,
it's very disappointing. I'd like to see Tyson Fury take on, if he's going to take on someone who's unbeaten. Maybe he should be taking on someone like a Philip Hergovic or even a Joe Joyce or
Joe Joyce. Yeah,
people that the world know at least. Tom Schwartz and Otto Wallen are known in Europe, and that's it pretty much.
yeah.
Unless you're a hardcore heavyweight fan, you don't really know who they are. So,
Hey, is Takam fighting Usyk? I heard some people talking that fight was still going to happen.
well, I've kind of been expecting that fight to be made for the Joshua Ruiz undercard, because the winner of that fight is mandatory to the winner of Joshua Ruiz as well, you see, because Usyk is the mandatory with the WBO and they're next in the mandatory schedule. So for me, it makes sense to put them on that card, provided Usyk's bicep tear is healed properly by then. And it seems they had been saving Takam for him because he didn't go and take another fight when Usyk got injured. So hopefully that's going to be on that card. But nothing official as yet that I know of.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see Usyk in action. A lot of people think he's going to be the big thing, but we haven't seen him really, fight any big heavyweights yet. So it'll just be interesting to see,
What do I see? Is he ranked number 2 or number 3 with the WBA at heavyweight, and he hasn't even had a fight at heavyweight yet. How the fuck does that work?
Yeah, man. Shit.
Where is he? I'll have a look here. I've got it on screen. Trevor Bryan at number 1. Yeah, Alexander Usyk at number 2 with the WBA. And he hasn't even had a fight at heavyweight.
That's a joke, mate. They box on says that Usyk and Takam's likely on October.
Okay. I wonder if that'll be on the Parker Shizora card.
Yeah.
That could be a possibility. Okay, well, that's good. It sounds like Usyk's bicep tear wasn't too bad then, because that could, if it was completely torn off, it could have put him out of boxing for a year.
Oh, yeah, painful, eh?
So hopefully it was just a minuscule tear. But no, that's good news. I hope that happens. We've also got another fight that's made. Where is it? I'll have to look it up. Give me a sec here. New window. Michael Hunter and Sergey Kuzmin is made. That's a good fight too, I think.
Yeah.
Michael Hunter. Box Rick. Yeah, that is on the 13th of September. I must have got my date wrong for Wilder. That Wilder fight is in the 9th of November. Boxrec have their date numbers around different funny ways. It confuses me all the time.
I make that mistake too, yeah.
Yeah. So they go year, month, day, whereas most people go day, month, year.
Yeah, I do. That's what I do, eh? Day,
Yeah.
month, year.
Yeah. But
Hang on, I'll just check Boxing Rec.
what do you check?
Yeah, I hate when they put it round the other way.
It's alright if you've got a 13 plus number in there because you know which one's the month.
Yeah. Boxing Rec.
Okay. That's on the Devin Haney card, the Michael Hunter and Sergey Kuzmin. We do have Philip Hrgovic is in action next weekend, but he's fighting a guy. It must be just a stay busy fight because it's not a guy I know much about. Can't remember his name. Someone Hernandez. But
yeah, I think it is. It is the 11th of the 9th. I think.
Wilder.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm sure it was September, eh?
Oh, was it? Okay.
I'm sure it was September. Oh no, it can't. He fought Brazil on the 18th of the 5th. It must be. It must be. Yeah, because he fought Brazil on the 18th of the 5th. So.
Yeah, it's the 9th of November, isn't it?
9th of November. Yeah.
That's unfortunate. That cuts out the possibility of him fighting again before the end of the year, then, doesn't it? He won't be fighting again in December if he's fighting in November. So I was hoping that maybe he'd get another fight in pretty much at the same time Ruiz and Joshua were fighting, so they'd be on the same sort of training schedule and they could organise the winner of that to face Wilder next. But yeah, hope is fading.
Yeah. Yeah, this year was looking like being really good actually, and it's sort of. I just hope if the AJ fight happens, Parker fights Chisora, you got Usyk, Takam, we can still have a good year this year.
Yeah.
You know, there's still some good fights there. I just pray that Wilder does fight Ortiz this year and then fights Fury early next year.
Ideal situation, eh? That's what we want.
Yep.
But,
what's happening with Dillian White, man? Any more news?
No more news yet.
No,
we're waiting on that WBC investigation. There's no news on the B sample. It's all being kept hush-hush, so I think Dillian's legal team have got a lot to do with that. They don't want to have any more information out to the public than they have to, which is suspect in itself, because if they were transparent and open with the information they do have, then there wouldn't be anybody arguing about, oh, he's a cheat or he's not a cheat. We'd know what the story was and that'd be that. But as it stands, we are waiting for more information.
Yeah. God, when Fury got in trouble with them, it was like 2 years or something.
Yeah, well,
dragged on.
It was even before he fought Vladimir. They had a lot of information and they didn't even do anything. So, man, UCAD are. I really dislike how their protocols and their privacy. I mean, if a fighter is taking something because of a health condition, fine, keep their health condition private. That's their business. But if they've got something that's going to enhance their performance in the ring, at least the opponent should know about it.
Yeah, oh yeah, man.
You know? I don't like how it's handled. It's a lot different to how things are done in America. And I quite like how it's done in America. If you've got something in your system, you're not allowed to fight until they figure out the situation and whether you should be allowed to fight or not. None of this keeping it secret. And you can fight while it's secret. That's bullshit.
Oh, it's like a Revis. I mean, yeah, you imagine, you lose a fight and they say, oh, the guy you fought was on track. It's like, oh, really? Yeah, that's
Yeah.
nice. Yeah,
Yeah.
they should have told. They should have either stopped the fight, or they could have just been straight up with Reeves and said, he's tested positive for drug. What do you want to do?
Yeah.
You know, he went in with no idea whatsoever.
None at all. I haven't really heard anything from Revis's team either about it. You know, all they've kicked up a stink about is the gloves, and we haven't really heard much about that either, which is interesting. Dillian White using a set of gloves that wasn't weighed, it wasn't the pair that Revis's team got to inspect, and Revis's team didn't even get to see Dillian White do his reps. So,
God. Hey, wasn't it? You remember when Joseph Parker fought AJ? Was there an issue with the gloves? Remember that doco and Kevin Barry was pointing at the gloves?
I don't know about the gloves, but I did see some dressing room footage of when Kevin was wrapping Joseph's hands, and one of Joshua's team objected to how they were doing the wraps.
Oh, it was the other way around.
Yeah, and
okay, yeah.
They got the match official in there, watched him, said, okay, as long as you don't put the tape underneath, the tape's on top to hold the bandages in place, that's fine. And the Joshua's team member was, oh, you can't do that. You can't do that in the UK. And Kevin said something along the lines of, well, our last fight was here in the UK, and there wasn't even anything mentioned about it from Huey's team when they watched the reps. And the guy kind of shut up real quick. He didn't really know that Joe had fought in the UK before.
Yeah. I just remembered vaguely something about the gloves. Yeah, I wasn't remember who it was.
But there was something about, because Taylor Barry was in Joshua's dressing room watching him rap, and there was something about the amount of Vaseline that was put on the bandages inside Joshua's gloves. Apparently too much Vaseline can harden the bandages or something.
Oh, okay.
So he was kicking up a stink about that. They were both doing what they could to try and, get something out of the other team. But I don't think there was too much to complain about with regard to gloves and whatnot in that fight. I think it was more Joe was too cautious. The referee was overzealous with breaking them up, and those
two things made it a bit of a stinker, eh?
It did.
Joe's caution and the ref, yeah, that sucked.
Would love to see a rematch, and well, I guess it's a positive from Joseph Parker's point of view. He knows what what happens to Joshua if he can't deal with speed and volume and aggression now. So maybe Joe would step on the gas like he should have in the first one.
He'll be kicking himself, eh?
Yeah.
He'll look back on that fight and just kick himself, man.
Big time. It's a kind of a vicious circle with the triangle theories there, Joe beat Ruiz beat Joshua, and Joshua beat Parker. So
yeah.
I'd like to see any of them fight again, but
I would. I'd love to see a Parker Ruiz rematch. That'd be exciting.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people are split on who won, so it'd be great to see them have another fight and just go for it.
Anybody who comes out and says Ruiz got robbed, up yours. It was a close fight. It could have gone either way.
Yeah, man. And I mean, I've watched that fight several times, and people just don't want to admit that, Ruiz got off to a good start, but Parker come back into it. I mean, when Parker went to the outside and started using the jab and using skill and not getting into those exchanges with Ruiz, he started getting the better of it.
Yeah.
And it was that's what actually gave Parker the edge in that fight, was his jab. It was slightly superior to Ruiz's. And another thing, if you remember in that fight, Ruiz, a lot of his punches were missing. He was doing these flurries of punches, and the crowd would be like, "Whoa, whoa, man!" But then when you watch the slow-mos, they were slipping and sliding past Joe's face. They weren't landing, and the judges at ringside were seeing it.
Yeah.
And the judges were neutral. The judges were brought in from overseas and approved by both camps anyway.
Exactly. It's something Joseph Parker doesn't get noticed for. A lot of people think he's easy to hit. He's not.
He's not, eh?
He's actually pretty elusive. He stands there with his chin out, but if you throw a punch, he's got pretty good reactions, and if it does hit him, it doesn't usually hit him flush.
No, he pulls away.
Yeah.
He turns away from the punch, pulls back from punches. He is not that easy to hit. I've said to people, he's got better. Dillian White's got. If Parker's got bad defense, well, what's Takam got? What's Dillian White got? What's AJ got? They take more. They probably take more punches than Parker does.
Yeah, definitely. So next time you watch a Joseph Parker fight, whoever, make sure you note the punches that are thrown at him doesn't mean he gets hit with them all. He definitely slips a lot of punches. He doesn't get hit flush with a lot of punches. So, yeah, just keep that in mind next time you score it. I mean, it was a big thing with the Huey Fury fight, was another big one. Huey threw that jab out there all night with his shades of Ali, but most of them missed.
But yeah, because he was throwing the jab and running away at the same time.
Yeah, well, even if he did land a few jabs, it's not going to be very effective. And, it's clean, effective punching is the scoring. Not just, I can touch you on the face while I'm running away. If it's not effective, it doesn't count.
Yeah, man. He's fighting Povetkin, isn't he?
Yeah, man. That's a very, very interesting fight, that one. Povetkin's going to be 41 by the time the fight comes around, I think. So
31st of the 8th.
Okay.
This month.
It is this month. No, he's still going to be 40 because he doesn't turn 40 till September sometime. So, but that's going to be kind of a factor. And it's a factor we've seen in a few fights recently. We've been saying it with Pacquiao for years. Is he going to get old overnight between fights? It's going to be like that with Povetkin as well. I mean, he's still pretty dangerous. We saw him against Anthony Joshua. He wasn't looking too bad for a lot of that fight. He was touching up Joshua at times. Huey is a runner though. Is Povetkin going to be able to chase him down all night and possibly land something late?
And the thing is also with age, sometimes he used to be very accurate with his combination punching Povetkin. They would be those inside combos were on the mark. Whereas as you age, you can lose the ability to be quite so accurate with your punches.
Yeah. And we've seen in a lot of fights where he's substantially smaller than his opponent, it's harder for him to get clean work off, and he gets frustrated. That's when he tends to throw big winging shots and misses a lot more than he should. So, I don't know. I don't think Huey's got enough power to trouble Povetkin too much. I'd expect it either to be a knockout from Povetkin or a points decision win from Huey Fury. But I suspect once Huey feels a couple of power shots from Povetkin, he's going to go into that big time defensive mode like he did against Parker, and he's not going to be too keen to engage with him. So you can't land punches if you're not in range.
Yeah. The key for Povetkin, just try and get him on the ropes.
Yeah.
Back him up, get him on the ropes, and
corner him, stand on his foot so he can't run away, and then come over the top with a big right hand or a left hook.
Yeah, go to work on him, eh? Yeah. Try and land that left hook like he did on Price. Jesus.
Or kill his body, slow him down.
Yeah, go to the body first, and then try and come up, get that good left hook in there. But, the body is the key actually for Fury. You've got it. It's because it's the easiest place to hit.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of target there, isn't there? Big, long, lanky body.
Yeah.
So it's an interesting fight. Are you picking anyone in that one just yet, or are you waiting to get closer to the fight?
Yeah, I'm waiting to get closer to the fight because I'm so torn. Like, I have no doubt Fury can't hurt Povetkin. I can't see that happening. But it's Povetkin's age. That's the lingering thing, eh? It's sort of, I'd like to say I think Povetkin's going to win, but that age is just, it's got me questioning.
Yep, definitely. I think I'm going to wait until I get close to the fight too. At this stage, I'm probably favouring Huey for the points decision, but I'm not so sure. We'll see.
Yeah.
All right. You want to talk a little bit about Ortiz versus Wilder? You got a prediction for that
Yeah,
one?
I think Wilder should be able to get him out of there earlier, about 7 rounds or less. I think Ortiz is just going to be an older fighter coming in. It's not going to help him the age, the time that's elapsed since the first fight they had.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll go for Wilder by stoppage within 7.
Yeah. I'm going within 6, and I'm gonna say for an exact pick, just for shits and giggles, I'll go round 4. KO, body bag, out on a stretcher.
That's the end of his career, eh?
Yeah.
That's it for Ortiz. He should have taken that money with
Joshua.
AJ, man.
Yeah, that was a big screw up on his team's part.
Yeah, well, what I think happened is he with Heyman, Ortiz?
He's advised by Al Heyman, yeah.
I think honestly they wanted to keep Ortiz as a body bag for Wilder.
I can't understand why when he's already beaten him. You know?
Yeah, well, they may have wanted to sort of use it as just a setup fight to build up towards the fight with Tyson Fury. But I just feel like they wanted to keep Ortiz as their punching bag. I think they didn't want to see him, because if he fought AJ and lost, well, he's got a good payday. He can walk away.
Yeah,
he's done. He doesn't have to fight anymore. Whereas if they've sort of kept Ortiz in the game when they can use him as an opponent.
I guess Wilder's team and Wilder himself, they've been pushing the point of that 7th round against Ortiz. Many say the fight should have been stopped. I don't agree that it should have been stopped, but they're calling that the controversy, and they're using that as the selling point for the fight.
Like I personally think Wilder won the fight fair and square.
Yeah,
I really do. I think he won the fight, but it was a very close fight, and I am interested in the rematch.
Yeah,
I really am. I mean, imagine if Ortiz lands a big shot.
Yeah, it's one of those fights where nobody's really calling for it, but if it's on, we'll definitely watch it. Yeah.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, man.
Yeah. The other thing that was interesting in that fight, I've said it a few times, was after the 7th round where Wilder was in trouble, and they stopped the fight at the start of the 8th to look at Wilder, and there was lots of conversation about the New York State Athletic Commission rules stipulate that if a fighter has been through adversity, the doctor should check them, and it shouldn't be between rounds, it should be during a round. The qualm I had about that was, okay, that's fine, check Wilder, but Ortiz was down 3-4 times in the fight.
Oh, he was hammered.
Why didn't the doctors check Ortiz ever? Yeah,
he took a worse beating.
He did.
Way worse hammering.
I couldn't understand that, so it was a little bit contradictory, and it kind of supports the Wilder protection theory, but I'm not going to read too much into it. Like you, I think Wilder won that fight fair and square and done and dusted.
Yeah.
So,
hey, one funny thing I heard, I was talking to some AJ fans, they've even got to the point that the ref wasn't fair to AJ when he stopped the fight. I mean, it's like, and they go, oh, AJ was just trying to get a breather, and he had his mouth got out, and he was expecting the ref to pick it up and put it back in his mouth. It's like he was getting his ass beat. Yeah. The end of that 6th round, he got to the point, Ruiz went to his body, he couldn't even move. Yeah. AJ, he was just standing there. He couldn't move anymore. The 7th round, he got put down. Was it twice?
Twice, yep.
I mean, how many times do you let a guy get knocked down before you stop the fight? I mean, Yeah. I can't believe that they're digging deep, eh?
He was gassed. That bodywork wrecked him. And you know what? It's much easier to breathe if you spit your mouth guard out.
It is, eh? Yeah, definitely, man. And he was gassed. He was stunned since the 3rd round. He was not winning that fight, man.
He knew it, too. That's why he didn't come out of the corner.
Oh, he knew. He had had enough.
Yeah.
He had had enough, mate. He really had. Even if he doesn't want to admit it, and his fans don't want to admit it, he was done.
Yep.
It just, yeah, I just the level the AJ fans are getting to. It's like, oh, come on, man. I mean, I know how hard it is. We love our fighters. Yeah, we all got our favorites, and we love our fighters. And when they lose, it's terrible. I watched Parker lose to Dillian White. It was hard.
Yep.
You know, it was hard when he went down in that 8th or 9th round, whenever it was, and with that left hook, I thought, oh my God, he's gone, mate. But he got up and carried on. But it was hard. I remember when Evander Holyfield lost the 3rd fight to Riddick Bowe, and he actually got knocked out. I couldn't watch that fight for 3 weeks after.
Yeah.
I couldn't bring myself to watch it. It was awful. But I can watch the fight now, and I love the fight. It was a great fight. But at the time, it was terrible to see my guy go down.
Yeah.
And so I understand their struggle, but the excuses they're coming up with are just getting farcical.
Yeah. Some fans feel they have to defend their fighter, which is fine, but then when you put objectivity aside and all reason goes aside and you say anything to defend your fighter, that's just getting silly. That's what
that's
fanboyism.
It is, man. It's like as I say with the Dillian White fight, hard to watch. I felt he got some rough calls in that fight, Parker. You know, the headbutt. It should have been a 10-9 round. It ended up 10-8. The fouling, the constant fouling that White did in that fight, holding his head down and hitting him, putting his gloves in his face, nearly pushing him out of the ring. And he never lost a point for any of it.
Yeah.
I mean, I felt, Parker, it was rough, but I still accept the loss.
Yeah.
I'm not going to cry about it. It happened.
We look back on it and we can say things like, well, Parker should have done something back, or,
Yep. He was too naive, Parker.
That's right. It was still a loss when it comes down to it. So.
It was. He was too naive, man.
Yep.
He needed to take it into the gutter if he had to, because that's what Dillian White was prepared to do. But sure. Parker, too nice and paid the price, man.
Yep. So hopefully we get to see Parker use some animal. And
he'll have to against Chisora. Yeah. He's going to have to, man.
Yeah, well,
it's going to be a rough fight.
I can see Del Boy rubbing his hands together, thinking, "Ha, this pussycat. If he doesn't, if he doesn't bring it, it's going to be trouble."
Definitely.
Yeah. All good.
What's up, lad?
We got Unrivaled Boxing Talk and News in the house. How are you, brother?
I'm good, Jono. How's it going, Marla? How's it going?
Good, man. Good, man.
You sound wrecked, mate. Pretty late there, eh?
Well, it's only midnight, John. You know yourself, man. I'm 24/7.
Yep, all good. Pretty much ranting about anything at the moment, mate. But I was thinking about shutting it down. So, what do you think about Ruiz not signing this contract with Joshua?
He's looking for more money. Okay. There's two ways to look at it. One, he should honor his contract, which I understand. And then there's the other. He should get more money because he won. But he did enter into a fixed-term contract. And if that's the case, he's been saying, I'm better. Joshua can't box. I can beat him no matter what. I'll always be able to beat him. If that's the case, go in for your 9 or 10 million or whatever it is. Beat him, knock him out again. Then everyone in the world has to come see you.
Yeah, get on their knees.
If you beat him twice, prove it's not a fluke. One, more Mexican fans will be behind you. The ones who are a little skeptical, because there's a few out there who are skeptical. Quite a lot. They don't want to get behind them because they're like always flashing the pan. Secondly, you've beaten Joshua twice. In America and Saudi Arabia. Right? You've beaten 2 different continents. That's it. You're the guy. Everyone has to come see you. You're pay-per-view. Every fight you're on in America, you'll be pay-per-view. You're the number 1 man. Like, right now, are you the number 1? No, I don't think so. Just because Buster Douglas wasn't the number 1 man heavyweight in the world because he beat Mike Tyson.
Exactly.
It's not how it works. One flash in the pound win doesn't make you the number 1 in the world. Salido wasn't number 1 pound for pound when he beat Lomachenko. That's not how it fucking works. You prove it. So now he has to go prove himself. 1 win don't make your career. It's not how it works.
Damn
So
right.
go in there, beat Joshua. Look, if it's 10 million and you're crying over 10 million, come on. If someone came to me saying, "Do you want 10 million to go in there and get beat up by AJ?" I'd be like snapping their hand off. But if someone came to me and said, "Do you want 10 million to beat up Joshua because that's what you believe?" I take their arm off as well.
Yeah.
Never mind just their hand. So that's my way of looking at it. But at the same point, I do understand that he wants more money. Because maybe he doesn't believe he can win. Maybe he thinks that there was something wrong with AJ. I don't think there was anything wrong with AJ. I told people long ago to stop making the up excuses. Remember, John?
Yeah.
Like when people were talking about, oh, the water in New York is different to England. It's polluted. Oh, like every excuse. Oh, Anthony Joshua wasn't in the right tanning boots because they're different in England. Like for fuck's sake. This guy, like, oh, he doesn't have Johnson baby oil in America to oil up his abs for his Instagram posts.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
he doesn't have Lynx, he's having to use Axe. Oh, he doesn't have Lacoste, he's having to use Calvin. Like, oh, fuck off.
Yeah.
Like, just, fuck, like, every excuse under the sun. Look, he got beat. Like, and I don't mean he got beat. He got beat. Like, he got beat.
Yeah.
He got the, like, it was all going well for him. I think we can all agree. First round, KG. But Joshua, maybe a round up. Second round, KG. Maybe a round up. It depends what you prefer. The short burst from Ruiz or Joshua's jab, right? Third round, it's routine. Joshua, left hook. Ruiz goes down. Andy gets up, catches him with a straight right. We're seeing the same pattern from all of Joshua's fights, right? Hits him with that straight right. But Ruiz soaks it up. They enter into an exchange. You think Joshua's about to knock him down. He gets caught in the temple. Boom, down goes Joshua. Gets up. Same thing happens again. Boom, down goes Joshua. And then Ruiz, he starts stepping off of Joshua's jab. He starts moving to the side of him. Joshua's gassed. Joshua can't do anything. He's putting out a lazy jab. Ruiz is catching him with combinations. We get into the 7th round. Ruiz easily up for the next few rounds. What does Ruiz do? Combination punch, catches him on the side of the head, clubs him left, right, left, right, left, right. Down goes Joshua. Boom, over into the corner, shove, boom, clatter, down goes Joshua. Joshua in the corner. Now guard on the ground for the 4th time on the fight. Referee comes in. It's over. He got beat up.
Yeah. Big time.
It's like I said to someone, I said, oh, AJ was concussed, and I said, well, going into the fight, and I said, well, he didn't look concussed when he threw that beautiful uppercut, right uppercut, left hook combination to put Ruiz down.
No, he didn't. It looks routine.
Yeah.
It looked like against Molina, same thing. But Molina didn't get up. Against Povetkin in the 6th round, but Povetkin couldn't get up. Ruiz, he got up. And then he absorbed the big straight right that he finishes everyone with.
Yeah, man. I watched it. When I watched it happen live, I thought, oh, God, he is going to knock Andy out early. I've got this one wrong. But Ruiz just got up and defied everybody. Yeah.
It didn't even look hurt to me. He just looked pissed off at himself.
He was shocked. He looked shocked by it. He didn't see it coming. But no, his legs weren't jelly.
No.
Yeah, his legs looked strong. Yeah, man.
And Joshua, being a boxer, he should have been able to see that. Be careful, he's not hurt. But he rushed in there like an idiot.
I have no doubt he felt that pressure of Wilder having knocked out Brazil quick. And he felt, I've got to stop this. I've got to make a statement too. And he threw caution to the wind, man, and it bit him on the ass.
Yeah.
Look, he should have done what he did against Parker.
Yeah.
And I'm being honest. He should have been cagey and stayed away, because we all know. And look, Jono, how many times have I ripped Joseph Parker apart?
Oh, a few, but not too many.
I've ripped him apart a few times, right?
Yeah.
But we all know that Parker would have done the same thing Ruiz did if he was that point inside him.
Yeah.
We all know.
Yeah.
We know it. Like, it's speculation, but we know it.
Yeah.
Whether you're from New Zealand, America, the UK, Parker would have done that.
Yeah.
If he was allowed to. He wasn't allowed to. The one time he was, Joshua got chinned and the referee stopped him. He stopped it from continuing.
Yeah, I do remember a punch in I think it was the 8th round. Joshua buckled over, and
I think it was earlier in the fight.
It might have been.
I remember the one you mean. I know the one you mean, Jono. I remember it,
He caught him. He hurt him, and like Parker stepped back and looked at the referee because the referee had been breaking him up all fucking night. He didn't want to get any points taken off. I don't know why he didn't just rush in, because he hadn't had a point taken off. You're going to get a point taken off before you get disqualified, so he should have... I mean, I would have liked to have seen him punch Giuseppe Cortalone in the face, to be honest.
Oh, man.
But yeah, I believe even Parker now thinks, after he's seen Ruiz do that to Joshua, he's kicking himself. He could have done that too. But,
yep.
You know,
He couldn't. But he did.
he didn't. It's still a loss. I'm not denying Parker lost.
Yeah, you got to live with these. It's in the books, man.
Yeah.
It's in the books.
All right. Since you're in here, you better get your opinion of Virgil Ortiz's win over Antonio Alonso, was it?
Antonio Orozco. What a win! What a win! Oh, what a fight!
It was a good
Did you
fight
watch
to watch.
that, Jonathan?
I did. It's one of the few I watched this weekend.
Now, a lot of people are like, "Oh, he's been exposed." Are the people who have never watched Antonio Orozco fight? He's relentless, like his name says. He never gives in. I watched him against Jose Ramirez. I watched him against Rodriguez. I've seen a lot of Orozco. This guy is a fucking immense fighter. I've seen him beat the shit out of Humberto Soto. This guy is a really good fighter. Virgil's so powerful, man. Orozco's got a chin. He's got a chin. He was taking liver shot after liver shot after liver shot. And guess what? He was like, nah, that ain't doing it. Keep coming, kid. And eventually he took him out, but he's 21, man. Sky's the limit. That's all I can say on him. Sky's the limit. He's 21.
He seemed a little bit easy to hit for me, but at the same time, because he's throwing so many punches and being so aggressive all the time, yeah, he's going to be a little bit exposed doing that. Maybe he could get a bit smarter, but yeah, like you say, he looks damn powerful with that pressure. That's dangerous for anybody.
Look, let me ask you a question. Do you think Errol Spence was that good at 21?
Hell no.
Exactly. That's the thing. He'll get smarter. He'll get wilier. Maybe he'll have a couple of losses in his career to elite level opposition. But when you're 21 and you've knocked out two men who've never been knocked out before, he's knocking out Mauricio Herrero and Orozco back to back. That's serious business for a 21-year-old kid.
It's impressive, all right. I hadn't watched much of Victor Ortiz Jr. before that fight. I will be watching him a bit more often. Virgil, sorry. Yeah, I will be watching a bit more of him in the future. He looks exciting and looks very powerful, so big ups to him. That was a good
His shot
fight.
selection is really good, but like you said, he is a bit exposed in the exchanges. But also, that a bit of that credit needs to go down to how good Antonio Orozco's timing is.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not like Orozco's way past his prime either or anything like that, is it? He's
in his prime.
He's only 31 or something, so...
He's in his prime. He's only got one loss, and that was a world title fight to Jose Ramirez. And he went the full distance in a fight of the year contender. Even though the cards look really wide, he's in every single round. Every round was close.
Well, I have to go and watch
he
that
lost
one
every round, but only by a few punches. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, definitely one to look out for in the next couple of years. So, very cool. There was a big upset on the weekend too. Two-time gold medalist. You want to let us know a bit about that one? I saw your video on it.
Yeah, so Rebesi Ramirez, two-time Olympic gold medalist in two different weight divisions. Guy conquered Michael Conlon at 114 in the amateurs. Beat Shakur Stevenson at 123. Made his debut. Two-time Olympic gold medalist at the age of 22 in two different weight divisions. He went in against Adnan Gonzalez, a 4-2-2 guy. And he got beat the fuck up.
He did. I saw a couple of comments from Ramirez saying, "Look at the punch stats. I won that fight." It's like, look at the punch stats. Can't you read? you lost.
You lost. You lost.
Muppet.
You lost badly.
You did. I mean, there's only like one round in there that you could possibly give to him, really, isn't there?
Third round.
Yeah.
Third round you can give him. Other than that, no. You didn't win a round. Other than that.
So, man, I wonder if he's even seen the fight, played it back yet before making that comment, because making comments like that without seeing the fight, it baffles me. It baffles me. I don't know. But yeah, that was pretty much all I watched over the weekend. Is there any more you'd like to talk about before we think about wrapping it up, Unrivaled?
What do you think of Billy Joe Saunders? He's signing with Matchroom on Tuesday.
Well, yes, apparently. The whisper was he was going to go and sign with Top Rank and join Tyson Fury there, but I don't think that would have been a great idea considering the majority of the middleweight division signed with DAZN anyway.
Yeah, but he's a super middleweight.
He's fighting at 168 at the moment, but if he really wanted to...
How long will that last?
Why, do you think he's going to get fatter?
No, I think he's going to trim down.
Yeah.
Go back to 160. You'll have a couple more fights. Maybe he'll rematch John Ryder at 168. Maybe they'll have him fight Callum Smith. Maybe.
Yeah, I think that's probably the fight that he wants to have at 168, but I don't think it's too much of a problem for him to get back down to 160, and there's a lot more big money fights at 160 in there.
Yeah.
So
I agree with you.
Smart move from Billy Joe. So
yeah,
let's get it. He could end up fighting Golovkin. He could end up fighting Canelo. He could fight Danny Jacobs. There's plenty of names there for him to fight for a decent payday. So
absolutely, Jono.
Let's get it.
I wanted to get you guys' opinion on something.
Yo,
what is happening with Jamal Charlo? Who is his promoter, his manager? What's actually happening with the guy? Like he's people have talked about him. He's got my interest. He's 29. I mean, is he ever going to fight? Like Golovkin or Alvarez or
Ask Al Heyman.
Yeah. Oh, he's with Al Heyman, is he?
Is he going to let him cross the street? He's got to go and fight at the DAZN fighter to get a big money 160 fight.
Yeah.
You see, the thing is, other than Derevianchenko, right? Andrade, Golovkin, Canelo, they're all on DAZN, Marlon.
Oh, okay.
Billy Joe Saunders is now over on DAZN. There is no PBC 160 pounders.
Besides Jamal. That's it.
That's the only one they've got, Jamal. So as long as Jamal stays with PBC, he's pretty much just floundering.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there are other names there, but not big money
the big
names.
Big names, eh? I'd love to see him. He caught my interest. I don't know how good he is, but he looks okay, and he caught my interest. And I've always thought, well, how would he go against Golovkin or Alvarez, or Danny Jacobs? You just want to see those fights, and he just seems to be. He's 29 years old. He's getting to that age where it's like you got to move.
Yeah.
You got to get going, and yeah, I just wondered what was happening with him.
Nothing.
No, sad.
The last fight was against Brian Adams, man. Really Brandon Adams, but Brian Adams. Somewhere 69 over here, man.
Yeah, I seen that. Yeah, Brandon Adams. Yeah. Oh shit.
Yeah.
No, it's a shame.
It is a shame. Big time. But we'll see what happens with him. Maybe there's hope. Maybe Al will let him out of the kennel one day. We'll see. But I think that's pretty much us for today, lads.
Yeah.
Big shout out to everybody in the chat. Wouldn't be the same without having you. Box, Oasis, Azzy, everybody. Thank you for turning up. Big thank you to Marla. Always been a great supporter of mine. Been around since my first channel started. So
yeah, man.
Big ups. Thanks for having you. And Unrivaled Boxing Talk and News. It turns up at most of my shows. So another big supporter. If you haven't already, make sure you get over to Unrivaled Boxing Talk and News. Flick him a sub. Check out his content. Very knowledgeable individual. Alright, so yeah, that's us for today, lads. And we'll catch you all next time. This is Marla2243, Unrivaled Boxing Talk and News, and Big Boys Boxing. We out.
Sweet. See you later, man.
See you.
Peace.